we've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Greetings. What's up?
It's like jump scare.
Ooh, boo. Tomorrow's October 1st.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is October 1st. Wow. I'm super excited about it. I'm pumped about it. I'm going to be in here redecorating the Drive-In Speakerbox studio. We are just going to be Octobered up for the next handful of episodes. Not tonight because it's still September. Sorry, guys. But it's going to be really, really fun. So I hope if you're listening to our audio version of this podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure to this month maybe make an effort to check out our live video of the podcast that you're listening to right now. You can check it out on our Facebook page or our YouTube page, facebook.com/Drive-In Speakerbox.
If you watch the live stream, you can see when ideas strike me in my noggin, because you're like, oh, can't be spooky because it's not October yet. You know what we should have?
What's that?
A holiday in September where everyone dresses like Earth, Wind, and Fire and like does the dance from you know that
The Earth, Wind, and Fire dance?
yeah.
What would you call this holiday?
It'd be on the 21st of September.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
The
Now
24th time of September.
That's finding its way into memedom and everyone being really into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's start it here.
Everyone has like gigantic shoulder pads and like
already
crazy
have those.
space capes, and you just like have that real 70s like Ace Frehley type thing
It
going
would
on.
be awesome. It would be awesome. But we'll do that next year. But this year, we're going to be talking about movies. So we encourage you to check us out on our different platforms, YouTube, Facebook Live. You can actually see the comments. We've already got some comments going on our chat there. Shout outs to Vince and McLean, who are already tuned in. Hey, guys. Anyway, we're going to be talking about movies tonight. And if you're looking at the live stream, you probably already got a hint of what it is. We're going to be talking about Astra later in the show. We both went out and caught it this weekend at the theater, independently from one another. So neither of us has shared each other's opinion. That's one of the things we like to do here. Keep it fresh. And yeah. Keeping it fresh and crispy for you. Yeah, fresh, crispy. Farm to table, locally sourced, organic film reviews just for you. But before we get into that, let's talk about some news, because there's stuff that happened this last week, and we're going to speak on it. We're going to speak on it just a little bit. I don't know if you guys have caught this trailer. It is 1917 is the name of this movie, and the new movie from Sam Mendes about World War I. A lot of hype is now being generated about this movie because they're like, it's one continuous shot. Blah.
I don't know what that noise was. You know what?
That was the internet.
You know what throws me off every time I see the trailer for this is that it has Colin Firth in it. And the new Kingsman movie is also set in World War One.
I know.
So it just throws me
This
off
is just a Kingsman
constantly.
Prequel.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, there's Colin Firth, and it's Kingsman. Oh, wait a second, no, it's not.
It's the other one. But here's the reason I bring this up specifically, because trailers, whatever, we talk about them all the time. But using the this is one continuous shot. People are like, isn't that amazing? Isn't that incredible? Oh my goodness, I've never seen such a theatrical attempt, a feat of cinemagic of magnitudes that my brain can't even fathom. Well, and here's the deal. They didn't do it all in one take.
There is a movie where it was done in one take, and I can't remember what the name of it was.
It was in 2002. It was like Russia something.
Yeah.
Russian Ark was the name of that movie. That was the movie was one take.
Yeah, it's like in a house or something, and every time they make a curve, it's like they...
Well, do you remember Children of Men? Children of Men got a lot of recognition because it had like an 18-minute long, one continuous take. There's difference there's a difference between continuous shot and a continuous take, and this is one of those film terms I'm gonna educate you on. Driving Speakerbox, educating you on how the differences of these weird languages and words that we use in this industry. But I haven't even dropped knowledge on you yet. But the more you're gonna know when you finish the show. The difference between a take and a shot, like a shot is the kind of the finished product. This is what you're going to see. This is the shot. This is the thing. This is the scene that is delivered to the end user. But a take on set is when you're like, all right, roll cameras. Sound speed, camera speed. All right, here we go. And then sometimes they'll just be like action, or they'll be like first action. Second action, because you got to cue your extras and all that kind of stuff.
I see.
So it's
have the people walk in the background.
That'd be your first action.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a take, and say one of the extras like tripped and then diarrhea shot out of his butt. Like, and you're
What?
just like,
I like how you're like, oh, say he tripped, and that would have been enough, but you're like, no. And then while laying face down, arms to the side, doo-doo fountain, like
because that would really ruin a take.
Or put it in the movie and
just
really run away with the profits on that one.
Make $1 billion. But so that happens, you're like, okay, cut. Let's reset. Let's do it again.
I'm just imagining like, ooh, smack in the
like,
air.
What was the little goo in the beginning of the Beverly Hillbillies where he like
bubbling crude? Is that what you're talking about? Some
yes.
Bubbling crude from his booty hole.
Yeah.
Welcome to doodoopp.pizza, where we have 5-year-old boy conversations.
Bubbling crude.
That's what it's called.
It's so appropriate.
Some Texas tea.
Well, the next thing you know, he ruined the take, and so anyway. The take, you do many takes to assemble a shot or scene, and this is what's happening in 1917. So don't be fooled by this idea that like this was filmed in one continuous take. It was not. They, through editing and through whatever, your experience as a viewer is going to feel like it's one continuous shot, because it's not going to go like meanwhile in America or wherever. It's like, nope, it's going to follow these soldiers. It's the whole thing. It's a perspective thing. And I still think that's cool. It is a technique. It is a style choice that I think is unique, and I want to see this. And I like Sam Mendes, but don't be fooled. It's kind of like when I get really mad when people start saying like, it bombed or it tanked or it was a flop. You hear me talk about this a lot on the show as a measurement of quality of the content. That is, the bomb, flop, and tank have nothing to do with how good or bad a movie is. It has everything to do with how much money it made or did not make. So if a movie did not make as much money as it cost, then that is a bomb, a tank, or a flop. Not like bad movies are. There are plenty of bad movies that make shitloads of money. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Lion King remake, and basically everything from Disney right now. I didn't need to cough over that one because it's true. Fight me. So anyway, that's coming out. Speaking of the MCU, I know one of our viewers, Vince, is always happy to hear about the MCU.
I want to know about this Rope movie that he's talking about, though. Have you seen this?
Gimmick of that in Rope? Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I'm gonna have to refresh myself on what that one is. But
maybe it's like a magician's rope, and they cut it into the pieces, and those are all your takes. But then when they tie it into a knot and they pull it out, and it's one whole rope again, that's your shot.
Magic. That's your shot. It's true. Oh yeah, Hitchcock. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that movie's great. And he's been doing that trick for years. Which was not.
He hasn't been doing anything for years.
I meant, that trick of trying to make the audience feel like it's one continuous shot. That's a technique that's been, people been doing it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But the speaking of the MCU, as predicted, once people figure out how to come to terms with cash money, Spider-Man is going to fall back into the MCU. That was the news this week. And Sony and Disney worked out a deal. Guess what? And because Disney
I bet all that
Spider-Man.
hype helped to generate some more cash for them.
Absolutely. And Disney backed off a little bit of their absurd request for Spider-Man, and I think the 50% thing got pushed back to more like 25%, and then they came to an agreement. And there's
That's backing off quite a bit.
well, yeah, because that first offer was insane, and so Tom Holland is back in contract, and Feige is gonna produce it. How Kevin Smith, Feige, Jake, Bopper, Dookie, what is his name? Feige. Who has these names?
Dude, you know what? Talking about your favorite thing, up and comers. John Barenthal is supposed to find his way into the movies.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was reading earlier. Is that they're trying to find a way to fit the Punisher into the movies. And they could have him murder Tom Holland, and they're like, "Oh, Punisher killed Spider-Man. No more Spider-Man." That would be sick.
That would be sick. Because if anybody's gonna do it, he could do it.
More like MCU later.
Oh,
Nice, Vince.
From the comments
Yeah.
section.
Nailed it.
Anyway, that's just like I said it would happen. It did, and it actually happened way faster than honestly I thought it would. It was just like not even out of the same month, and it's like okay, all right. We build up a shitload of hype about Spider-Man, and then we make sure that we're going to get another $1 billion if we do this. Okay, we'll take 25%, and
That'll make it where everyone has to rush out to the movie. They're like, it might be the last time.
have to see it. It's required of being alive. People are insane. People are so insane. What else that's not Disney related?
I got something. You know what was announced today?
What?
That I shared with you earlier.
Oh, yeah.
On Donnie Yen's Facebook, he posted that there's a release date for Ip Man 4, ending that series finally, December 20th. You can watch the fourth installment.
The fourth
of
and
Donnie
final
Yen's
installment.
Ip Man movies. Yeah. And I'm super stoked about that. I don't know if you've seen those movies, but they are
Because they're good.
sick.
They
Yeah.
are good.
The first one is like really good, and then the second one brings in Sammo Hung, and you're like, "This is amazing."
Even better.
And then the third one makes like 0 sense, and Mike Tyson is there for some reason, but you're like, "Whoa, Mike Tyson and turf gang
But I
wars
was
over
okay with
elementary
I
schools?"
was okay with it.
Yeah, because
at
it's-
least it wasn't Bob Sapp.
Donnie
Again.
Yen. Oh, dude, what's wrong with Bob Sapp?
I like
being
Bob
a thing?
Sapp, but it's just like he's the default go-to for a lot of these.
Yeah, because Bob
movies.
Sapp rules.
I mean, yeah, he does kind of rule, but he's getting old. I mean, I
So?
guess Mike Tyson is too. So what am I saying?
Yeah. You know what? They should put Bob Sapp, Mike Tyson, Michael Jai White in a and like Donnie.
holy crap!
Donnie Yen has to fight all three of them.
He'd lose.
There's no way.
Michael Jai White's there.
And old dude from The Protector.
Oh well, then he'd definitely lose.
What's Tony Jaa? That's his
Yeah.
name. Who else is like in
Tony
every
Jaa
movie?
would flying knee everybody's head off.
Who else is in a movie where you're like, I need someone who can punch people like really well? Well, who's that really, really, really big white guy that ends up in all of like the
can't speak
Southeast
very
Asian
well.
movies? Yeah, and he's always like the giant guy.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? He's in every one of them.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. But
Yeah.
Batista was in a handful of like movies like that.
Yeah, but he's a
so
wrestler.
short.
I'm talking like people that are like real
Just
life, like
huge,
good
big.
at punching you. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, one other little bit of information that I wanted to throw at you guys that I thought this was kind of funny, and it's not Disney Empire related, is man, rumors have been going around that Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds are developing a script together for a remake of 1985 Clue, the movie,
Yeah. I saw
which
that.
I love that movie, and I actually really like Jason Bateman.
Yeah, but dude,
He's the same thing in everything, But I think that brand...
That's not true. There's movies where like they flip the script and Jason Bateman's like a bad guy, and you're like, well, where did that come from?
But he still has the same delivery.
Yeah, and that's what
You
makes
know?
it good.
Yeah, no, and that's why I like Jason Bateman. I like that delivery. I like that tone. I like his pacing. And I think that him and Ryan Reynolds, I'm not a big Ryan Reynolds fan because I don't necessarily like his tone, pacing, and all that stuff. But I think that would be a really good formula if they're both in a Clue remake, because Clue is about like fast-hitting, constant, dry humor, lots of characters.
But what about
out.
Tim Curry? And isn't Christopher Lloyd in Clue?
Christopher Lloyd's in Clue. Tim Curry's in Clue. Tim Curry is in no shape to be in front of a camera.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, how are you going to compete with that?
I mean, I just make it different. Make it your own. I think you can. I think it's possible.
Just like they remade Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
And they ruined it.
Yeah,
it could have been
okay.
done. It could have been
done. They did Ghostbusters.
It could have been done correctly. I'm just saying that.
What's another one?
It could have been done, but Clue's also not sacred. You know. Hey, I love Clue. I've got it on DVD. I've watched all the endings multiple times.
What if they remake creepy Dan Aykroyd Judge with Junkyard Babies movie? What if they remake
Nothing But Trouble?
What if they remade The
movie's
Burbs?
great. No, we can't remake The Burbs. The Burbs is sacred.
Oh, okay.
The Burb, because The Burbs is greater than the sum of its parts. Like it is. Oh, we don't need to get me started on The Burbs because that movie's so good. If you've never seen The Burbs, it's Halloween time. Check out The Burbs. It's a Joe Dante classic.
Clue's pretty good.
And Clue is really good. Tom Hanks. If Tom Hanks was back in The Burbs, okay, I'd watch it again. I'd go for it.
Clue's probably...
If you just reassembled it and was like Tom Hanks was there, Bruce Dern's still alive, like Corey Feldman's still alive, like get them all. Let's just put them back in it and do it again.
Hold on. Johnny said he was a good bad guy. Yeah, talking about Jason Bateman. He's like, oh, he was the bad guy in Starsky and Hutch, which I don't think he was. It was Vince Vaughn was the bad guy in Starsky and Hutch. But Vince comes in and says that he found the person who saw Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, you guys in the comments. Oh, hey, shout outs to Dina, who just joined in on our Facebook page. We mentioned Dina a lot on the show because she's our reigning resident Fantasy Movie League champion. And I think she was like ranked third in the planet or something recently. So good, congratulations, good job on that. And if you want to get into a fun 80s montage of learning how to do better at Fantasy Movie League, challenge Dina as she sits at the top of the drive-in Speakerbox Fantasy Movie League, laughing at you as you try to get better, and eventually casting you out of Valhalla because you'll never make it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Dina. All right, and that's really it for the news. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on, but I think that we need to go ahead and start talking about what's coming out in theaters this week because it's really only one big one, and it's something a lot of people have been waiting for. A lot of people have been discussing. There's a lot of I think unnecessary hype, but I think it's just because of the character and how this character has become such an institution in a personally, I feel undeserving way, but that is the Joker film that is coming out with Joaquin Phoenix. I've been seeing all his clickbait ads where it's like, Joaquin Phoenix set an interview studio on fire when they asked him his question about being the Joker.
Did he do it with an acid flower? Because if not, then it's not cool.
Just stupid. I wish, because, yeah, that'd be fun. But stupid clickbait. Because remember when Joaquin Phoenix tried to be Andy Kaufman? You remember that?
Yeah.
And remember when Andy Kaufman was basically the Joker in that one movie that this now movie is, the comedian or whatever it is, like that old God, my brain is not functioning right now because I'm thinking about how stupid the Joker is. But it's like the dots are connecting here. Joaquin Phoenix, playing a role. He's acting, and he didn't murder anybody on the set of this. He didn't go insane because, guy, if you even try to be the Joker, then it's like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna lose your mind because the Joker's so freaking crazy, dude. Because he's the craziest. That's why I'm dressing up for Halloween with my buddy Brad and my buddy Chad and Todd. We're all gonna be Joker.
Cesar Romero didn't lose his mind.
No one did. It's dumb. No one did. It's a role.
John DiMaggio was Joker.
Mark Hamill, as Johnny Dalton said in the comments, there is still the best Joker. The best. There will never be a better. Shut up with that face. Look at you. That face.
I mean, anytime I've ever read a comic book ever, it's Mark Hamill's voice.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Those are Batman and
the
Joker.
range that Mark Hamill brings to the character. It's like you get those hey Batsies, and then you get the crazy like and he goes crazy off the wall.
Every Batman character that appeared in DC, like animated, like TV show or movies from the 90s or something, those are the voices of all of those characters. Except Catwoman, when I read it, is always Julie Newmar's voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I grew up with 60s Batman.
Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I guess it's whatever it means to you. But this movie's coming out, and everybody's losing their mind over it. What's up, Chef Brooks? Tuning in there, feller podcaster. Shout-outs to the Soul Men of the High South podcast. Stephen Brooks there in the comments is one of the co-hosts, and he was actually on our show Later with Jason Sewell, which, again, another show that I am involved with. You can check out Later with Jason Sewell if you just Google it. And Chef brought us some Cornish game hens. What? And that's going to be on in our November episode. It's going to be pretty cool. So, shout outs over there. But anyway, the Joker, this movie's coming out, and I don't know how I feel about it. I just kind of want to wait and see it. Like, everybody's already decided in their head that it's the greatest Joker movie that's ever made, and no one's seen it yet. And, I mean, they're like, well, it's Sundance, they said. They said it was amazing. They said it was art. They said it was an Oscar nominated, possibly. It's just a work of amazement. And just like give it a second. Just let it chill. Let's see it first.
I like Johnny's idea here, just to be Clayface disguised as a regular dude. Someone's like, "Oh, you don't have a costume on. Just pull out like a piece of like Crayola, little mold
melted.
Clay." And you're like, no, dude, I'm Clayface.
Yeah. That's a great costume. That's a
I know
lazy
what
costume.
I know I'm going to be at the Beatbox Halloween party.
You're going to be Clayface?
No.
Are you even going to go?
I mean, if I can be Clayface.
No, what you need is just like one droopy side, like just like this, and then you'll be Clayface. Like someone just sprayed you with a little bit of water, and you're like, oh God, gotta get that goop. And
yeah, but then everyone's like, are you a stroke victim? That's insensitive.
I mean, true. You'd be like, no, I'm Clayface. Is he a stroke victim? Yeah, be Clayface. There you go. But as a person. Yeah, be that version of Clayface. That where he's like, oh gosh, I just got done like auditioning for an episode of Twilight Zone. And
No one will know, though.
yeah, no one's gonna know what you
No
are.
one will know except us.
Except some nerds. But yeah, that does bring up a good point. The Beatbox Halloween Dance Party is coming at you at the end of October 25th. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go www.beatboxhalloween.com and you can check those out. VIP passes have already been selling like hotcakes. 25 days, 1 hour, 22 minutes. You can get your tickets right now. The VIP is, I want to say we've already sold like 40 out of 75. So you gotta get your hands on those before they are gone. And more information there on that website that we just checked it out.
Oh, before we get too far away from Batman, DC is finally competing with Marvel on the action figure front really hard.
Oh, really?
They have some really high quality, like pretty cool action figures. And the ones I saw were Red Robin and Dick Grayson Batman.
Whoa.
They were pretty cool. And guess what? If you collect all of them, they have the Build-A-Figure, and currently the Build-A-Figure is Clayface.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
So it's done like the Marvel
link
Legends action
Yeah.
figures.
Send it to me, man. I need
Oh, I took a picture at the store. I meant to text you yesterday. So
need it.
So with that said, Joker, that's the movie that's coming out in theaters this weekend. Big movie, a lot of people, a lot of hype talking about it. We're probably, are you going to go see it, or is it too scary for you? I mean, it is about a creepy clown killing folks.
I don't know, man. I'll see what else is out. If we get like a good Fathom event.
Well, there is a Bollywood film that is coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get it here in town, but a film called War is coming out. It's about an Indian soldier who's assigned to eliminate his former mentor who had gone rogue.
I mean, just the poster on this looks awesome right now.
So that's that. I don't know if we will probably get it because we get a lot of Bollywood films here where we're located. And also, I don't think this is going to come out anywhere because it's a documentary, but I really want to see it. I actually want to see it more than Joker because it also happens to be about a creepy clown. And I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this, but it's called Wrinkles the Clown. And the trailer to this looks amazing. And it was a kickstarted documentary about this guy who goes by the name of Wrinkles the Clown. He's a 65-year-old retired divorced veteran that lives in Naples, Florida. And he...
of course it's Florida.
Oh, of course, Florida man. And he designed this creepy mask, this creepy clown mask, and he goes around and he has business cards and a website and a phone number, I think, and you call the phone number and you can book Wrinkles the Clown to come basically... scare children.
And you said this is like a documentary, like
about this
like
guy.
A real guy.
This is a real guy.
Oh,
and
he just shows up and he's like, "Hey, my name's John Gacy," and everyone's like, "Ah!" Like is that
basically? Yeah. But no, this is far less murderous. But
yeah, but the idea is to make you think that he'll.
Yeah, he. It looks really interesting. I really want to see it. And I'm gonna call Wrinkles the Clown and come have him hang out at your house outside of your window.
Oh, so fun fact, I checked our...
I'm a gun owner.
No, our local listings for movies. I checked to see what was available this weekend to watch, and the only showtimes they have listed are about 400 shows for Joker.
Oh, man.
So I don't even know what's going to be available to us this weekend because...
At our local theater.
If it's not Joker, they don't care what you're watching.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's coming out in theaters. Not a whole lot of new options, but I think everybody's going to be going to see Joker. But I need to get my hand on Wrinkles the Clown and check this one out. It'll probably be on VOD before I know it.
I might play catch up and watch Abominable.
Oh yeah, that came out this last weekend.
Yeah, kids' movies can be fun sometimes.
Yeah, they can when they're done well. So maybe next week we'll hit you with a little Joker review and a little Abominable review. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, share wherever you find your podcasts, or check out our video feed on Facebook or YouTube Live. Anyway, moving on. Wait, what do we got?
Vince said that Fathom Events are going to start showing Twilight Zone episodes in the theater.
Fathom Events is really picking up, you guys. The Shawshank Redemption anniversary showing just happened. I had some friends that went and saw it, and some of my friends had never seen Shawshank before, and they were just like, "Oh my god, that's so good," and kind of losing their shit about it. Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never seen it, the first time you get to see it is
in the movie theater?
30th anniversary in the movie theater. Yeah,
good gravy. But good stuff there. Okay, well, that's what's going out in theaters this weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about the movie that we're going to be reviewing tonight, and that is Ad Astra. Ad Astra, of course, the new film starring Brad Pitt from his production company, Plan B, which is it's Plan Brad. And it's a science fiction film set in kind of the near future where we as humanity has managed to colonize the moon, and then we've also got a small colony on Mars, and we have managed to send manned exploration as far as Neptune in search for extraterrestrial life. And
and their approach to it was like really sci-fi, like that real Judge Dreddy. Like, I don't know, what's one of those?
Are you talking about the visual kind of representation?
Well, like
of the
they
future?
open it up with like in the near future, this is like a thing and sci-fi reasons, but then it all is like really grounded science and stuff to like make it really believable and
It was
real.
That's one of the positive things I will say about this movie. I'm just gonna go in and just begin. Like, there's people being like 5 stars. This movie is amazing. It's a work of art. I'm not gonna go as far as say as that. I enjoyed it, but I had a lot of beef with it at the same time. I thought it very much reminded me of like Solaris or Moon, but Moon's far superior.
All these movies that got good reviews.
Right, that are fantastic space movies about just kind of the isolation of space and kind of the idea of, like, not to reference a Ren and Stimpy episode, but space madness, which is one of the best Ren and Stimpy episodes ever. But it really deals with that. But this movie, it tries to build this, like, extraterrestrial quest and all of this kind of stuff, when really it's just a movie about a kid who misses his dad. And then the whole, there was one sentence that really summarized the whole movie, and it was like, you travel to the very outskirts of our galaxy to find something that was on Earth the whole time. And it's like an interesting, like, novum, as they call it, to make this science fiction plot move forward. But there was a lot of kind of plot inaccuracies that I found that kind of helped pull the movie apart for me. You're making a face over here. Tell me about this face.
Well, what are you talking about, man?
Like the plot inaccuracies?
Yeah.
Oh, like space monkeys that can breathe in the vacuum of space.
It wasn't a vacuum of space. It was inside of a contained spaceship.
Well, still space monkeys for no reason.
No, they talked about it. They gave full explanation.
I know, but it was still ridiculous.
I realized that there's not a lot of sound or talking in the movie.
I like that about it.
Added to it.
I like that about it.
The visuals and the sound in this movie were very good.
Yes, I will absolutely agree with you.
Even in our theater, that's known for having at least one blown speaker in every movie theater.
Truth.
This one had fantastic sound.
It was incredibly atmospheric.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It creates that, like, you in space visual from the very first. As soon as it pans, it's like, here's Earth, and there's this space antenna that we've accomplished that. Here's the moon, Mars. You're going past these planets, and
I loved all that stuff.
When it would hit you with silence and just show you, like, amazing space images that they got from Jet Propulsion Laboratories and NASA, and, like, all of these, like, super rad, like, bitchin'
super,
like, images
space
of
stuff.
Space. I mean, it was cool.
Guys, even heard of Hubble, dude?
So, yeah, and they show the telescope and things like that. But the monkey thing, they fully explain.
Yeah, but it just seemed like such a weird thing, a weird detour to basically kill a character. Like,
well,
that's all they did.
I think that was there to show that he's kind of like this Rambo type character mixed with
he's just a constant calm, like that's
no
like
matter what happens, because that's one of his things. And wherever he goes, there's some sort of conflict, and his cool head is what always gets him through, no matter what insane situation that these adventures and exploration in space go. And it was kind of a way to throw in, like, a fear factor of Alien, but keep it where it's very, very real.
Yeah,
and
a space baboon that came and clawed a dude's face off. I mean, it was
a mandrill.
Yeah,
it was bigger than a baboon.
Space baboon.
Dude, but it was they fully explain it.
Okay, yes, they did in the context of the thing.
And I think it was there to help explain how they have access to ships and how expanded into space we are. This is kind of like it took ideas of Alien, where they're traveling across space to do mining. Yeah, freighters and supply ships. Star Trek, it kind of has like that feel to it, where even though you're in the depths of space and things like that, there's still times where you can run into other people because it's that populated at this point in time.
And bad crap happens all the time. But I guess for me, it was like there was so many stops along the way to kind of build up this anticipation of when he finally gets to his destination, which is the climax of the film. And it didn't really land for me. It wasn't, when he gets to his destination, confronts, I mean, spoiler alert, Tommy Lee Jones is there. I mean, it's the whole build up to the whole movie. You know you're going to meet him, but the the payoff at the end just didn't hit sort of what this entire 2-hour build up of, or an hour and 40 minutes leading to the 2-hour crescendo. And then I was like, well,
Are you
all right, let's go home.
are you kidding me though? But that was kind of like the point of the movie.
To kind of just like, well, I went all the way to Neptune. I guess I should probably call my ex-wife up. Like, who, speaking in the comments, so Johnny Dalton in the comments on YouTube said, my favorite part of Armageddon was when Steve Buscemi got space dementia. Yes. And the
Was
funny
that when he stood up on the asteroid and tried to kill everyone?
But the funny thing about mentioning Armageddon is Liv Tyler is the I'm waiting for my spaceman to come home, and she was that in Armageddon as well. I guess, like, if you need a damsel to be waiting for you.
Wasn't Tommy Lee Jones in Space Cowboys?
He was in Space Cowboys. There's a lot of space people. And that's didn't we make a joke a couple
we
weeks ago
yeah,
about
when the movie first came
Ed
out.
Harris? We're like, why isn't Ed Harris in this movie? But I don't know. I just feel like it. By the end of it, I was like, well, I was kind of hoping for, I don't know, an alien maybe, or some spiritual, like, kind of in Contact. That not the 1990s Contact, but the one that just came out, the Villeneuve film. Where it's like it's still very rooted in a human element, but the extraterrestrial acts as sort of a way to look at ourselves better. But instead, they just used the fact that it's almost nihilist. It was just like, well, there's nothing. There's just nothing.
Wow, way to give away the entire fucking movie.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna let you know.
I actually liked all of that part of it.
The nothingness of space.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was kind of like the entire point that the movie was making, and the point of it crescendo being just a full, it rises up and then drops out
goes
from
limp
it. Yeah,
right
that was
before
like
you get there.
That was a point of the friggin' film, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, I enjoyed it. I walked out of it liking it. If anything, it made me want to go watch Interview with a Vampire, because it's like Brad Pitt narrating the whole time, and that's the only other movie.
So you want to hear him narrate with a not good accent?
No, he was the exact same accent. He didn't have an accent in either film. It's just Brad Pitt.
He attempted like a weird something in
You
Interview.
wouldn't know because you don't watch scary movies.
I've seen Interview with a Vampire.
Like, when?
Interview with the Vampire.
When?
I mean, a little while back. Not like yesterday.
Okay, then.
I don't just sit around like, you know what? I'm going to pop in the old DVD player.
I do. I love that movie.
No, dude.
It's one of my top 5 favorite vampire movies.
If I'm going to watch a movie with Tom Cruise, I'm like, you know what? Which Mission Impossible should I watch right now? Or like...
And see, that's why we have a good contrast on the show, because...
acting like you don't like Mission Impossible.
I ain't gonna sit around and watch.
Or Legend. I'll watch the hell out of Legend.
Tom Cruise Legend?
Yeah.
Yeah. There can be no light without darkness. Heck yeah, dude. That was the best devil on film to date. Tim Curry, ladies and gentlemen. Legend. So Ad Astra, I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend it to a lot of people. I kind of liked it. I liked the experience of it.
It's definitely not like a popcorn movie, and it's something that I think the idea is to kind of provoke what we just got into, different viewpoints and feels about what it is and what it means, and make you think a little bit. So it's not going to be a movie for like Marvel fans.
No. I mean, I would go if I were to recommend this movie to someone, I would say, if you want to go in and just kind of have like an experience, like going into the isolation of space and watching this journey and just kind of escaping for a minute and being okay with, just it's a ride in a different way. There's
action, but it's only there to carry heavy story elements forward. You know what? Have you ever read the manga Planetes?
No, because I'm not a weeb.
You are a weeb, and we've gone over this many times. Anyhow, it's like a really short Japanese comic series, It's like planets, but with an E between the T and the S, right?
Okay.
Planetes. But it's like not so action-packed, no aliens, nothing crazy, near future, and it's about garbage men who clean up all of the space debris around the Earth and Moon to protect ships, because the space debris will just fly so fast it'll puncture holes in ships. So they go and they like clean it up. It's very just like, this is normal everyday life. It's space, but so it's like a cool sci-fi thing grounded in some sort of real life actuality. This could be real type thing, but it's not drama, but just like story focused, life driven.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how this movie,
Trash man life.
yeah, but that's kind of how this movie was. It was like a everyday thing. Like, these are normal people. No one's like a super space warrior. No one's like a crazy scientist that has to stop.
And I think
the end of the
I
world
think
from aliens.
that's maybe what bothered me here, is because I think I would have liked it a lot more if this was just kind of like, hey, we do this kind of stuff a lot because this is the future now. It kind of like the stuff that they were trying to establish. It's like, well, yeah, ships go to Mars. That's what happens. Hey, welcome aboard. But the beginning, like the set off of like, there's a catastrophic world-ending surge that's happening and our planet could be destroyed. If they had just kind of scrapped that and they go, hey, we're having some really big problems with this thing and we don't know who else to send and we really need to get this because it's not good. Not like the planet could die at any moment. And
yeah, but I liked that they did that because it was to establish that journeys past Mars were not normal, and that there needed to be some beyond
urgency to
normal
get there,
reason
yeah.
to push someone past that. Yeah.
There was just things that didn't add up for me. But anyway, as you can see,
Okay, so there was one story inaccuracy and like plot point that they didn't touch
where he
on.
grabbed that thing and then like used it as a shield to navigate the.
No, that was cool.
Okay.
No, we'll talk about it later.
Okay. We'll have a fight about it off mic.
Donald Sutherland's entire reason for being in the movie.
Well, cameo.
Well, they were like, conflict and no resolution.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, there you go. Ad Astra. As you can see, there's lots to discuss, lots of ideas around it. There are reasons you should see it, and there are probably reasons that you shouldn't. It just depends on you. It depends on what you want out of this movie.
I feel like it's definitely like a watch in the theater movie.
Oh, yes.
Unless
absolutely.
you have a really nice home theater set up. But it's something that you want to be in the darkness of the theater.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to experience it with all the speakers and everything they have set up. Because, yeah, the whole movie is
It's
atmosphere.
delicate. It's very delicate.
Oh, that's a good word
Yeah.
for it, yeah. You know what? It was so delicate that it was ruined by the stupid, extremely bright exit signs that they have pointing directly onto the screens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, boo. Boo.
I was like, I'm trying to see the darkness of space, and you're green lighting the whole thing.
Messing it up for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. You can check it out in theaters right now. It is playing. And we're about to tell you how well it did, because it's about that time in the program where we got to tell you the top 10 movies in the United States. We do our box office roundup, and we're going to tell you number 10 going down to number 1. What's that? Making another face.
Well, did you like The Martian?
I did.
I felt like this was very related to The Martian.
I actually really like that movie.
It was surprisingly good.
Yeah. Let's see. Vince over in the comments says,
No,
do I
actually-
need to find a theater with one blown out speaker
No,
to get
actually,
the full effect?
the theater itself that I watched this in was one of the few where they had all functioning speakers.
All rockets firing.
It was in number 2. But the seats are broke, and so you go,
God.
and if someone left through the door, it creaked. It would go.
In such a quiet movie, you hear everything. You're
Yeah.
like, ugh. It's like those movie scenes where you want to open your candy, and it's just like, and you're like, just
Oh, yeah.
open it, damn it! Just one loud swoop, and you're
Yeah,
done.
I opened them during the previews, but the whole movie I was like,
Yeah.
just trying my best. But, yeah.
It's just like you get a potato chip and you put it on your mouth and like let the saliva moisten it enough to where it doesn't crunch when you bite it. It's those techniques.
Yeah, not a popcorn movie. It's not one of those movies where you should sit there and be like,
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't be that
Yeah.
guy. Don't ever be that guy. Number 10, let's go through these. Number 10, Angel Has Fallen from Lionsgate, bringing in $1.5 million in its 6th week in release. $40 million budget, brought in $67 million at the box office. Number 9, God, still out there. I really thought that it would be gone this week, but it is sticking around for 11 weeks. The Lion King, still in the top 10 from Buena Vista, bringing in another $1.6 million in its 11th week. We've got $260 million budget, brought in $540 million nationwide. Why am I yawning? Number 8, Good Boys. Again, another weird, like, how did this stay in theaters for 7 weeks? It just blows my mind. But Universal bringing in another $2 million there. $20 million budget brought in $80 million. And I think that's just because it was out there so long and not a whole lot of the stuff coming out in theaters. Number 7, Judy, which only opened out in 461 theaters nationwide, and we talked about it a little bit last week, but it brought in 2.9, putting it at the number 7 spot, which is impressive for a movie that's only in 460 theaters. It brought in, like I said, 2.9 million. Number 6, Rambo Last Blood, dropping down to the number 6 spot from the number 3 spot last year from Lionsgate, bringing in 8.5 million against a $50 million budget. Making another face. Well,
that's because you said last year.
Or what? Last week. My bad. Bringing it total up to $33 million at the box office. Doesn't look good for old Rambo. A lot of bad reviews. It did get a foreign release though, so the $24 million in the foreign market, bringing it up to $57 million.
Did you
total.
see the ad that they started running for Rambo last week?
Oh, I heard about it.
Where they like show like action and him like scream and like shoot people and like Rambo, and there's people from the first, like when First Blood was released, and they're like, it's so violent, I just can't believe it, oh it's crazy, and then it shows like straight up real violence from this one, and like, it's not for everyone, pussy. Did you see it? Because it's like, Rambo, it's not for you if you suck.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, I like this promo because it's like, Rambo, it's full of action, and there's people from like the 80s and they're
not
like,
for buttholes.
Yeah, they're like, I can't handle it. I just can't do it. And you think about the
how tame,
quote unquote violence in First Blood, you know, where a guy gets hit with spikes in his legs and he's like, ooh, my legs,
ouch.
And Rambo's like, you'll live, dude, later. And then,
yeah.
And this movie where he just like rips a dude's collarbone out with his fingers and then snaps it in half and then like stabs him in the leg crazy hard. And the guy's like, oh, I'll do everything you want. Here it is. That's what you want. There's the answers. He goes, cool. Punches him in the face forever. And I was like, yeah, this movie rules. Hey, turns out Rambo's fun. Go watch it.
Oh, man. Number 5, dropping to the number 5 spot from the number 2 spot, Ad Astra from Fox, which we just talked about, $10 million at the box office, bringing its total up to $35.3 million. Number 4, It Chapter 2 from Warner Brothers, bringing in $10.2 million in its 4th week in release. About a $78 million budget, brought in $193 million at the box office, so doing very, very, very good. Number 3, Hustlers from STX, bringing $11.3 million in its 3rd week in release. $20 million budget has brought it in $80 million.
What
Can I get an air horn?
Movie with J-Lo and Crazy Rich Asian / Fresh Off the Boat lady whose name I can't remember. Is it Connie something? I'm wrong about this. I can't remember what her name is.
I have to look it up.
Well, them being the point is strippers.
Hey man, strippers bring in the cash.
But it has.
You ever known a stripper? They bring in the cash.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I said it.
But the movie, what is it even about?
It's about hustling, man.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about taking the money from the rich.
But $80 million worth of like.
Hey, maybe we need to go see it. Like I can't pass judgment. I haven't seen it.
What if we do see it and then we come back and we're like, you know what,
bro?
Hustlers, man.
Hustlers, dude. I mean,
in a word, bitching.
I mean, we might like it. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't.
Maybe that's what I'll do instead of like going to watch Joker.
Just go watch Hustlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, get to watch.
And then come back and be like, I still can't explain to you why money don't.
J-Lo's B cheeks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like, people got the internet and YouTube. You can see like 90s J-Lo B cheeks. You don't have to like pay money to go to the movie theater watch like 50-plus-year-old booty cheeks.
Well, hey, it's booty cheeks. I like in the comments here, Johnny Dalton says he gave a mixed CD to a stripper once. It's a very romantic gesture of you. Anyway, moving on. Number 2, Downton Abbey from Focus, bringing in $14.3 million.
Hey, I don't have no cash, but I do have this
have
fire mixtape.
Did you put it in the thong or whatever? Like the whole, because I think that would be really funny if you just like shoved a mixtape down. Okay, anyway, yeah, didn't need a rim shot, but I appreciate it. Downton Abbey brought in $14.3 million in its second weekend release. $58.3 million for an episode of TV. Like, whoa, that's where we're at right now in the movie world. And the number one movie in America from Universal, Abominable. Oh, look at these monster abs.
What if it's just about a really hairy guy that does a lot of like
Abdominable.
Yeah, like core exercises and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's abdominable.
Yeah, and he's just like super
Like,
hairy.
oh, don't you mean abominable snowman? They're like, no, dude,
the
show
abdominable.
him. And he like lifts the fur up, and it's just like
rocks.
Yeah.
But Abominable from Universal bringing in $20.6 million in its opening week, budget of $75. So doing pretty well for itself there, especially being the only like children's movie in theaters that's not Lion King. So I think it's going to probably have a pretty successful second weekend, since this weekend only has Joker, and a lot of people can't take their kids to the Joker, even though I guarantee you I'm going to get in the theater and there's going to be a kid with their parents and is going to be crying and eating crackers, and every time I go to like a rated R movie, someone's got babies, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll turn them into me. Because my mom took me to those rated R movies. Like, I saw Conan the Barbarian as an infant, and yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens. So we don't need more of me. I'm just bad. Because I'd have to kill you and take your power. So there can be only one. It's the Highlander rule. It's the Highlander way.
Yeah, dude, here we are.
Here we are.
Born to be kings.
We're the princes of the universe.
Yeah.
Bring on the girls! Okay, sorry. Isn't that how that song goes?
I mean, there's a lot more of that song before he goes, bring on the girls. And then him and Stephen Lambert have to have a fight. Freddie Mercury with his microphone stand, and Stephen Lambert with his like Masamune samurai blade.
I see right now. Like, Freddie Mercury goes, ha, ha, ha! And Lambert goes,
we have to make this cut. Well, and when he does it, he does like this, like microphone stand, guitar, like skip across the stage. He's like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I have a steel sleeve case DVD collector's edition of Highlander with the bonus Queen soundtrack in it. And no big deal.
Epic.
Just being a really cool
We
boy.
need the McLeod sword for our background. That we need the.
Well, I mean, hey, when the show's over, let's run over to Vintage Stock, buy one of their like Bud K $20 swords that has the Highlander handle on it.
Heck yeah,
and then you can be full on weeaboo with a samurai sword hanging behind you.
No, I just need it over here because it's a prop. Either that or get the Atlantean sword. I think that would be a good sword to have back here.
Atlantean sword.
That's Conan's sword, bro. What are you talking about? That's so rules. Anyway, that's the top 10 movies in America as you guys deemed with your wallets. But we are done. That's it. That's our show. We made it to the end. And we'll be back next week. We're going to be talking about a Joker, probably Abdominable, and other things. So find us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. So like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we will see you guys next week.
See ya.